Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday around lunchtime and we have had a super busy weekend. I think this past weekend was busier than Memorial Day, and it was warmer too, so the pool got used like you would not believe the number of people and the amount of time we had to spend every evening getting the pool back in shape for the next day. Now, I am headed to Manahawkin. I'm not that far away now. I've got to go by the pool store, and we have run out of a few items. I need some testing equipment that they thought I had more in my office, and I don't. We need some more soda ash and some clarifier. So Manahawkin's not but 45 minutes away. It's where the leisure pool place is, and so I'm headed up there, and we'll get a few supplies that we need for the pool while I'm there. Cindy wants me to stop at Costco and get a few of things we need for us personally, and then I'm headed back to the campground. Now, I will say, look, I'm driving my Jeep. Why am I driving my Jeep? Well, Saturday we ran out of lettuce and bell pepper and onion for the snack shack. If you saw the short, we just started selling Philly cheesesteaks. Cindy was able to get all that priced out and loaded in the computer, and they were a big hit. And Philly cheesesteaks take onion and bell pepper. Lettuce is for hamburgers and stuff. So I was headed up to the Acme. If you're not from New Jersey or this region, you don't know what an Acme is, but the Acme is like we have Hebes back in Texas. South Carolina we have Publix, Kroger's. It's a nicer grocery store, but it's not a gourmet grocery store, if you know what I mean. It's not like what's the one Amazon owns that's all organic and everything and super high priced. It's not that. And it's also not Walmart. So I get my produce at Acme from Tuckerton. So I'm driving down, I think it's number 9. You come out of the campground, take a right, and go towards Timberline Campground. And all of a sudden, I'm passed by the police, and he does a quick turnaround and runs me down. I look down at my speedometer. I drive usually, based on my career as a police officer, I usually drive 2 to 3 miles an hour under the posted speed limit, and I usually have the cruise control set so I don't have to worry about it. The truck doesn't have cruise control, so I look down, and I was actually going 45 and a 50. So I wasn't speeding, but I wasn't going so slow that they would stop me for impeding. So he pulled over, and I gave him my driver's license. And the reason for the stop was the campground tags on the truck were expired. So I told him, the tags don't have numbers on them like a lot of other states. So I apologized, told him I would get the corporate office to check into it and make sure it gets paid. He gave me a warning, told me to go back to the campground and park the truck and not to drive it anymore. So that's what I did. I parked the truck. I'm not driving it anymore, but now I'm having to drive my vehicle, put miles on my vehicle to do campground related tasks. And our company doesn't like to pay mileage, so they let me fill my car up with gas. So I'm still losing out. So we need to get that taken care of. So anyway, I'm driving to Manahawkin now in my personal vehicle. So we'll do a few things while we're there. We had a Great Train Robbery this weekend, which was a skit set up by our activities director. Nicole does a great job. Everybody in the campground had a great time with it. We did have some teenage boys on the train who thought they would be cute to resist the robbers and whatnot. So we had to handle a little issue with that. but overall the adults and kids had a great time. We have a group of seasonals that like to do the skits with us for the train, like on Halloween. They do like a haunted train, and they jump out at people wearing scary masks and that sort of stuff from hiding spots. Anyway, they do a great job. Nicole does a great job. That was fun. We had our first ever RV show. If you didn't see the shorts about the RV show on both YouTube and on the Waiting Pines Facebook page, go back and look at those. It was very successful. We had a lot of participation. Did not ask if they sold anything. Not my business. The main thing with the RV show was Cindy and I wanted to come up with out-of-the-box ways to promote the campground, get more people who are not familiar with the campground in the campground to see it. And we've done that with both the Happier Camper event and now the RV show. And I'm working on one other thing that I hope will work out. So we had that. We did not have, what I thought is we did not have any real issues in the campground this weekend. No lobsters in the toilet, no stuff smeared all over the walls in the bathrooms, no outright vandalism. I was very excited. Now, we worked very hard, but I was like, man, that was great. No problems this weekend, nothing to repair until we start doing the Monday morning cleanup, where when everybody has left the campground that came and stayed with us on the weekend, when most of the seasonals are gone, we do a massive cleanup of the campground and the sites on Mondays and Tuesdays. So Monday I get a call from one of the maintenance people, and I will show you what happened when we did you hear that cha-ching sound? We just sold something on eBay, and I'm gonna take a second and thank everybody who has gone on eBay and purchased Cindy's bracelets. I think we've sold 3. Vicky from YouTube. I watch her YouTube channel. She bought one of Cindy's bracelets. I think Carol in Colorado bought one of Cindy's bracelets. Somebody else. So anyway, I'll link if you want to look at them. She's still got three new ones that she has posted on our eBay store, Backroad Treasures. I'll put a link in the description and down below. And of course, you can still get our YouTube stickers there. I'll put that link down there below. And while I'm linking it up, I want to thank, we've had sold 6 of our cookbooks this month, which I'm very excited about that. If you don't know, Cindy and I wrote a cookbook and we self-published on Amazon. I'll put that in the link below too. So anyway, when we get back to the campground, I'll show you what happened or where it happened, because I thought it was a very peculiar place. But we had somebody take 100 to 150 different size, old, they look used, screws and nails, and scatter them all over the roads, all over this section of road, which is a pretty crappy thing to do. And we haven't gotten any calls yet from people who had their tires damaged, and we don't have cameras there yet, but we're going to put that area on our surveillance system. And I'll show you the new cameras we got up this week too when I get back to the campground. So I'm gonna jump off now and finish my drive to the pool store, and I'll bring you back when we get there. I've arrived at the pool store. Man, look at this Jeep. It is filthy. But it's a Jeep. It's supposed to be dirty. And I'm not going to wash it because I live in a dirt campground off a dirt road in the Pine Barrens. So when we get back to Georgia on concrete, that's where it spends most of its life, then we'll wash it and maybe even wax it. How about that? But here's the pool store. I had the name wrong. It's At Home Recreation. It's up here in Manahawkin, and this is where I get The majority of the one-off items that I don't order from our regular pool supplier brings in, like I just had a $6,000 chlorine, soda bicarb, and all that type of stuff delivered last month. But this little one-off things that I don't get from him, and that's where we come here for.
I mean, you can get away with it not being a dedicated mark. It's like it's only a 110, but it's still,
Want a turtle? This is the chlorine I use. Big jugs of it. So they don't sell just soda ash, but this is basically what this is. 25-pound box is $50, $49.99. When it gets cloudy and there's a lot of gunk kind of suspended in the air, we use the clarifier. So I'll get 2 of these. Need a new scrubber to scrub the scum line off of the side of the pool. And then I need testing stuff. And I have been looking for a leaf eater. They didn't have them before. It has a white net that comes over here. You hook a garden hose to it and it picks up all those pine things off the bottom of the pool. Makes it much easier than having to vacuum every time. Jen will be surprised when I bring her that. And these are the testers that I use to go behind the staff just to do a quick check. These are not used for your everyday or official testing procedures. Holy crap, Batman, that was $203.04. But, you know, pools are probably one of the most expensive items, or not items, amenities. Amenities is the word I'm looking for. Pools are one of the most expensive amenities that you can offer at a campground. And this pool is so big and so hard to manage. But so far, so good. I just got a call. I was in there from Jen, the pool girl. She said that the third-party tester came out every Tuesday. We have to have the pool tested, or they close us down. Chlorine was 3.0, which we try to keep it between 3 and 5. So I told her to bump the chlorine up just a little bit. And the pH was 7.6. You try to keep it between 7.4 and 7.6. We put a lot of sodium bicarb in it this weekend. And that worked. I got the pH up. This is a little more balanced way to do it than the sodium bicarb. Sodium bicarb is by far the cheapest way to do it, but we like to have both. So I'm gonna load the car up and then I'm gonna go to Costco. Cindy just sent me a text with what we need from Costco, and stop by Walmart. She wants a few things there. Won't take you in any of those locations, but I figured since we were getting stuff for the pool, I'd bring you along for that. I am super excited. Found me a great clips here in Manahawkin. Got a first haircut I've had since we left Georgia. Man, I feel 10 degrees cooler without all that hair. So now Costco, and then Cindy just texted she wants some Chick-fil-A, so I'll have to backtrack a little bit. But let me get this stuff, and then we'll head back to the campground. I have made it back to the campground. I've delivered all the stuff that needs delivered. I have put all the chemicals in the pool room. I have taken Cindy her lunch. I have unpacked the groceries, and now I'm back to work. So the only thing that I told y'all that ended up being an issue this weekend is someone put 100 to 150 different size screws and nails in the roadway. And so I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was on accident, but hey, how are you? I'll be right there. So this intersection here, which is Circle Road, that goes to the pool, that goes to the office, that goes to the loop, and then that goes around the back way to the office. From that pine tree right there, down to the corner, up to that cart, and one site in behind me had nails and stuff scattered all across the road. If that would have fallen off somebody's truck or trailer, then I don't think that would be on all four roads. It was like it was put in an intersection. You know, and that doesn't do anything to affect Cindy and I, which is what a lot of this stuff does. And this is in a predominantly seasonal area, but it's also where all the traffic for the pool and all the guests go that are not seasonals. So I don't know if it was intentional or if somebody just did a lot of riding and it fell off here, but I think that's pretty low if you're trying to take things out on the campground by affecting the guest financially. So if it was done intentionally and you did it, shame on you. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have cameras on that portion of the roadway. I think we may have to figure something out, but we have not had anybody report that they got a nail or a flat tire or anything. So hopefully my guys noticed it fast enough and there will not be any issues, but only time will tell. I thought I would tell you a little bit about the Great Train Robbery that we had this weekend, and I thought I would show you the train. I've never given a real close-up view of the train, so we're pulling up at the shop now, and I'm going to show you all the train. It's pretty cool. Normally when we have people on the train, we have an employee back here at this back entrance right here, sitting in this seat right here. And then this has cushions that we put in it, and there's an employee sitting right there here at this back entrance. And then this is the cockpit to the train right here, and she is old. We have lights. There's a way to run the lights. We have speakers for music, and then under the hood, as you can tell, this is an old Jeep. It's a 1962 Jeep CJ5. And instead of having a log, we use the hood as a log for the different things it needs, like 4 tires, they're 4.22s, wheel bearings, everything we need. The new carb was put on a 5 of 26, and that's the part number. That's just all the good information. But this is nothing but an old CJ5. I thought it was a 56, but it's a 62. But it's pretty cool. I don't remember the guy's name, but this train has been here for a long time. And this, by one of the past owners, was hand built here on the campground, hand fabricated here on the campground. You can see inside there, there's the old Jeep grill and everything. But she's pretty cool. So what we did this weekend is we had people stationed dressed up like desperados old cowboys and stuff. And they had like, remember those little wooden stick horses that when you were a kid, your grandma would give you for Christmas, and you pretend like you're riding a horse and going around doing that sort of stuff? Well, that is what we did, except for we had inflatable horses. They look the same way, but on Amazon you can get blow up ones for pretty cheap. And then we bought fake money. I believe they laminated it, and gold beads, like Mardi Gras beads, and we passed out to the passengers money and gold beads. Then as they would go around the campground, the guys would run up on the train on their horseback and drop their horse and jump on the train and pull out their squirt guns, and then they would rob all the passengers and make them stick their loot in a sack, like a pillowcase, and they would, as the train would pull forward, they jumped off the train, grabbed their horses, and rode off. It was pretty hilarious, fun, and everybody had a good time. And that's what camping's about, everybody having a good time. Out here is the Grove. Here's the playground. But the Grove is the location that we had the RV show at. Now, it's not a huge area. This is used for like the Boy Scouts and stuff when they come out. But over here in this portion of the Grove, the driftwood campers came out, and you can see on the short, they set a camper there, a camper here, one back there, and two down here. Had a nice little sign up on one of the campers, and had a very nice RV show. And what we liked about it was we had people, so I put it on Facebook, and then I put it on our YouTube channel, and we had people that weren't camped here. They came out to look at campers, but while they were looking at campers, they also came to see the campground. So we have some potentially new customers for the campground. Got lots of good exposure, and hopefully, oh, we picked up a seasonal too. So I'm not sure if that was a direct result, but we just rented out the last 50 amp seasonal site. We have 2 30 amp sites left, and man, I'm glad about that. Also this weekend, this is our band areas where we have bands come in. We had comedians come in this year already. I think next weekend we've got axe throwing, and we'll put a big bonfire here. And then up on this stage this past weekend, I believe it was 40 North, which is one of the campground's favorite bands. They came out here and they play from about 5 or 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock at night. And man, a good time was had by all. We had golf carts lined up all on the perimeter here, not blocking the road, up against the woods. We had campgrounds around, we had golf carts around the pool area, and there was just a ton of people here. And we love to see all our guests have a good time, but it's a lot of work to get it done. It takes a lot of scheduling. I'm glad I've got a good staff, but man, this was probably the best weekend we've had so far. The other thing we do on Saturdays is we have a fishing contest for the kids. And my understanding is Lucas, which is everybody's favorite kid, I think, in the campground, he won the fishing contest. Now, we are still battling all these lily pads. And I found a place that sells the herbicide. So I went to go spend the $200 and something to get the amount of herbicide we would need to kill all these lily pads. And evidently, unbeknownst to me, you have to have a commercial pesticide license, so like Orkin or something like that, to buy it. And that was just crazy, the amount of time and money it would take. So I called an aquatic management company to get them to come and give me a price on spraying it. Oh my gosh. Way too expensive. So we're going again with the throw sickle thing that goes out in the water. And if you can see right there where there's a line, and right there where there's a line, and over there you can see a line. So they've been throwing it in those locations. And here's another one right there, trying to thin these things out. And oh my gosh, the amount of work that is, and we're making zero progress. So if y'all have any suggestions for how we can combat all these stinking lily pads, let me know. But the kids really want to be able to fish for their fishing tournament and not have to, like you see a bobber floating right there. Somebody got hung up in lily pads. But now they're starting to bloom. You can see the little white blooms out on top of them. And once they start blooming, they will really start reproducing. So I don't know what the answer is. I called the New Jersey Department of Wildlife and Game Management. It's in South Carolina, which is where I'm from. It would be considered DNR. And they were absolutely zero help on how to combat the lily pad population. So if you could put in the comments for me some better ideas, I would appreciate it, because so far it's campground staff 0, lily pads like 3. So we're definitely losing the battle. Yeah, I got Cindy with me, and we just rented out storage site number 1. So now all we have is storage site number 7, which is huge, and storage site number 10 in the back. So that's pretty good. We've only been doing that. Yeah, we got that one over there, which somebody's coming in that one in 2 months, in 7. And then we have the one back in the back, and that's it. So Cindy and I are trying to put together a proposal to upgrade the rec hall, laundry room, and Fantasy Island. So we're out getting some measurements. You never know. If you don't ask for something, you'll never get it. So we're putting together a proposal, and we're going to be asking for some stuff because we really want to see this campground go to the next level. We want all new machines for the laundry. We want the rec hall upgraded to air conditioning and insulation, and I would like to put some primitive tent camping out on Fantasy Island. I think all 3 of those things will increase revenue for the campground. It will increase the guest experience, and it will increase the value of the campground for the owners.
Well, it will, but I mean, like you said, if you don't ask, you don't get anything.
Right.
And sometimes, you know, you request a pipe dream and maybe you'll get a portion of it.
Right, maybe you'll get a piece of PVC. You never know. We've had another successful week here at the campground. Appreciate y'all joining me today as I shared with you a little bit of the stuff that has gone on this week. Let me know how y'all liking this new format. I was getting some complaints from people who said I was capturing too many guests in our campground in the videos. So I'm kind of trying a compilation of what happened, facts, me just going and showing the areas where things happened, and explaining to people the different things that happen or you have to do when you're work camping and managing a campground. So let me know if this format's working out. I think it is. I just checked our subscriber list. We've gotten 18 new subscribers in the last week, and we're up to 6,700 subscribers. So thank y'all for everybody that subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, I ask that you do. I'm still showing that 40% of the people that watch the channel are not subscribers. So if you're part of that 40% and you keep coming back, then consider subscribing. It helps the channel. And I want to thank everybody again for supporting Cindy and encouraging her by buying her bracelets. Again, the description's down below. We started a little eBay business. I've always enjoyed thrifting, and so it's an outlet for me. It's called Backroad Treasures, and I put her bracelets in that eBay store along with our Sharing the Journey stickers. So those are listed down below. And we are dumbfounded by the number of people that have bought our book. I think we've got 11 5-star reviews so far, and we've sold, I know since the 31st, we've sold 7 copies, which we don't make a lot per copy. We make like $5.04 a copy, but just that people would buy the cookbook and then leave a review. They seem to have enjoyed it. They've been putting on Amazon pictures of meals that they've cooked using the recipes in our cookbook, and I find that fascinating. And man, y'all can really cook. Some good looking food. So thank y'all for that. And I just want to thank everybody for all of the encouraging words. Over the last few years, Cindy and I have had a lot of struggles. Loss of our son, switching jobs, coming up to New Jersey, having a really bad time last year making the transition here to New Jersey. This year's been a little better, although we're still getting a good bit of kickback from some of the seasonals. But all the encouraging words y'all have left us is really made all the difference. So, you know, I think everybody says this, that their subscriber base is the best on YouTube, but y'all are some of the most supportive. And the amount of love Cindy and I feel from our subscriber base and our viewers are unbelievable. And it's made some really tough times easier to get through. So I don't know if we've said it or if we've said it enough, but I want to take this moment to just say thank you from the both of us for the support and the love that we feel from this community. Y'all are the best, and don't let anybody tell you any different. So we'll see you next week, and thank y'all for coming along for the recap of this week at the campground. Y'all have a good night.